Ciao, my name is Ron Falconi. I am the host of Meet Your Neighbor. I had this idea back in the fall of '06 where I wanted to interview local politicians, local business people, people from our community here, so that all of you could just meet your neighbor. We have a very special guest here today. He is the councilman from Ward 2 of our city, and he is our city's vice mayor. I've been trying to get him on the show for the longest time. Ladies and gentlemen, meet your neighbor, Vince Carl. Mr. Vice Mayor, welcome to the studios.
Hi, Ron. How are you?
How are you doing?
Pretty good. I actually haven't been avoiding you. I have my own show that I've been doing, and I didn't like the competition. So I do a show periodically, What's New in Ward 2.
Yes.
And I haven't done it in a while because not a whole lot's been happening in Ward 2 because of the economy and that.
Yeah.
My co-host moved out of town too, which has made it more difficult to do the show. But I had my own show to do, so I really didn't have time to kind of freelance.
I understand. Hey, Vince, can you tell us something about yourself that not too many people know about?
I don't know how to make coffee.
You don't know how to make coffee?
I don't drink it. I don't know. I've never learned to make it.
What about not even the instant coffee or the regular coffee? Or?
The one with the automatic drip coffee
Oh,
maker.
yeah, I know. That's
People at work think I'm nuts. They said they actually will let me make coffee once. And I'm like, no, that's okay.
How did that turn out?
I said they let me do it once.
Hey, Vince, where do you live?
I live on Eisenhower Drive.
Okay.
The neighbors lovingly call my place the Smurf Palace or the Smurf House. It's a bright blue house.
Oh, it's blue, that's right.
It's a very bright blue house. I've never had to give anybody my address since I've lived there. Just tell them it's the blue one.
Right there on Eisenhower.
Yes.
Hey, Vince, can you describe where is Ward 2 exactly in our city?
Well, I've always described Ward 2 as being in the south side, pretty much south of 303, between South Carpenter and Pearl Road. And I have the north side of Sleepy Hollow.
Okay. And how long have you been a councilman now?
This year will be my 8th year.
Okay.
I'm just finishing my 2nd term.
Okay. And I know you've recently become the vice mayor. Can you describe and tell people who are watching right now in the city just refresh our memories? What does a vice mayor do, and also what does a councilman do?
Well, a councilman does anything that's required from his ward to make things better, whether that be help them clean up their yard or whether that be help them get potholes fixed or anything like that. Vice mayor is pretty much the version, I guess we'd call him president of council.
Right.
It's council's representative to the administration. Council can't make all the meetings and basically do all the administrative stuff, so they elect someone to do it for them. It's an appointed position that I am very honored that my colleagues selected me to be vice mayor for this year.
Hey, Vince, I know that the council representatives are chairman of one committee and members of two. What council committees do you serve?
Well, I am the finance chair.
Okay.
I also sit on Parks and Recreation and Safety. Both, I actually have chaired Safety before. I've never chaired Parks, although I've sat on it 2 other times.
Okay. And as chairman of the Finance Committee, what's the big thing you guys are working on right now?
Right now it's budgets. We are in a very tough situation now. The state came down on us by removing local government funds to the tune of about $500,000. So we have to make up $500,000 from our budget to kind of just to stay even where we were last year.
Right.
So we have the departments coming in with the budgets now. We look at them and see what can or can't be done for the departments this year, including ours. Right. We pretty much cut as deeply as we can into the departments. I mean, we don't have a whole lot of people that we can get rid of anymore. I mean, since I've been on council, we've had 21 less employees now than there was when I started in 2003. Most of them have gone through attrition or retirements, or the buyout program that they just left and we just never replaced them.
Right. Vince, what do you feel is your biggest accomplishment or accomplishments ever since you got on council?
Well, I know me more of anything else than the tire guy, the guy that cleans up the tires.
Yes. What park was that?
Well, actually, it's not a park. It's actually part of Hopkins.
Okay.
I would really like to see that project finally get done.
Okay.
The park has been cleaned off. We've cleaned off 30,000 tires, 56 tons of trash, knocked down a house, removed chemicals. The before and after site pictures on this are fabulous. You can tell the big, huge difference between what it looked like before and after. Probably the most, from a council perspective, council as a whole, one of the things I'm most proud of is the fact we've expanded our economic tax base. Just recently, we've added 2 universities, both Tri-C and Akron General, LCC.
Yes.
Those 2 universities. We've also added the Cleveland Clinic and Southwest General Hospital and a emergency room. These are very good paying jobs, and we're very happy to have these folks into our community. And we've added some other folks in here. We've added an engineering firm, we've added some marketing firms, and a lot of other folks at the transportation firm over on Pearl Road. We've added a lot of different businesses that have added income to our community, which helps us run the city.
That's great. Vince, what do you see as some of the more important issues that are that's facing the city right now?
Obviously, we have to have a solution for the roads.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we've never previously had a dedicated source for road levies.
Okay.
I mean, road funding. The roads are 35 to 40 years old, and nothing lasts forever. Regardless if you repair or replace them, pieces, parts, they're eventually going to wear out, and you have to be replaced, and the city has never had a way of doing that. So we have to basically find a way of doing that. I don't know if the road levy is the right way, but it's one way. The request to go to a sales tax is actually a better idea, but it's not feasible at this time. The county doesn't have another 0.5% it can give out without actually changing the laws in Columbus, so the state reps have to actually change the law in order for us to be allowed to do that.
Okay.
But we need something done now, so the road levy is probably our best option at this point.
Okay. Hey, Vince, can you tell me how did you get involved in politics in the first place?
My family was involved in politics. My dad was a director of manpower development for Cuyahoga County.
Did you used to live in Cuyahoga County before?
I used to live in Cleveland before I moved to Brunswick.
Okay.
I've been here about 15 years, and prior to that, I lived in Cleveland.
Okay.
When my children became school age, I moved to Brunswick. My dad was actually responsible for actually helping craft the summer jobs program that they run in Cleveland now.
Okay.
Where they get to give jobs to kids during the summer businesses.
Yes.
That he was actually one of the architects of that. Basically went down to the feds and state level to get money to actually fund it.
Okay, and then obviously your love of public service probably grew from that.
My understanding of public service went to it. I mean, I got involved here in Brunswick just by. I've always considered running for office since I've been here. I actually applied for 2 vacant seats and was not appointed. So I did it I guess you'll say the hard way, as I ran for office. If you want to know what pushed me over the edge to actually get into public service is when 9/11 hit. Folks on Flight 93 pretty much changed history.
That's true. That's true.
So if a bunch of folks that are just basically taking a plane ride can change history, I figured I could get my butt off the couch and see what I could do for my community.
Hey, Vince, as you know, this is being a city councilman is a part-time job. What is your day job?
I am a operations DBA for Weltman, Weinberg, and Reese.
Okay.
Which basically means I make sure nothing bad happens to the data.
Okay, so you're like an IT guy.
Yes, I'm a big IT guy.
Okay.
One of the DBAs are considered a guardian of data. I don't let the programmers do anything bad to the data. So I'm not necessarily very popular at times.
Vince, when you're not, helping write legislation for the city or doing work during your day job, what are some of the things that you like to do for fun?
Well, I belong to a couple organizations I'm very proud of. I'm one of the original members of Brunswick Artworks.
Oh, okay.
That's been I was a treasurer for them for a while. I enjoy that community, although my artistic abilities are more from behind the lens of a camera than it is from a drawing perspective.
Okay.
I am fortunate both my daughters are talented artists.
Okay.
But it's been a great deal of satisfaction for me to be able to try to promote art in Brunswick. We've done a few projects. We've done the mural in City Hall lobby. We've done the arch. We're working on the amphitheater.
Yes.
There's some other projects which we have in mind, benches, and we've had the Chalk Festival. We do that every year with Gene Berstricki. We've done a sand festival the one year. That was a lot of fun.
I heard about that.
That was fabulous. It's the first festival in Brunswick Lake.
Yes, yes.
So it's something that we'd like to resurrect if the economy picks up. It's just an opportunity to kind of, on a weekly meeting, you go to those meetings and you get to see artists, culinary artists. We had singers, we've had dancers, we've had thespians, we've had painters, sculptors, photographers. It's really been interesting to be able to see the kind of folks that do these kind of things.
It's wonderful.
I also belong to The Optimist, which does things for kids.
Yeah, what does The Optimist do?
Optimist is an international, actually I guess it's an international club that basically is doing things for children. We as a local group try to help kids out during Christmas, for parents that don't have enough money to buy their kids stuff. Or, our big thing is we try to, we're really involved with kids with cancer, trying to make the Make-A-Wish and things like that. We're involved with that. One of the things we did recently, one of the local golfers from Brunswick, as a matter of fact, they have a big tournament for The Optimist. He went, he actually made it out of the regionals, and we actually we paid his freight to go down to the next level.
Oh, wow, that's great.
They have oratorical contests for the kids. They have speech contests for the kids.
Yeah, I see every now and then there's like a speech contest or...
Yeah, I'm very fortunate that the kids for this are pre-high school, because some of them are actually very good speakers.
I can imagine.
I believe some of these kids will be our representatives in Brunswick in a very short amount of time. Very, 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 very good speakers.
Yes. Vince, for every guest on the show, I'd like to play a game of fill in the blank, okay? If I could have dinner with one person, either alive or not alive, who would that person would be blank?
Probably Robin Williams.
Robin Williams. Mork. Why Robin Williams?
I actually think it'd just be a lot of fun to have dinner with him. Go to a real nice restaurant and start a food fight or something. I just think he'd be a blast to meet.
I think Robin Williams would do that. Hey, when I was a child, I blank.
Gardened.
You gardened?
Yes, it was because I had a large family. It was very nice.
Oh, yeah.
I came from a family of 7 kids. One of the things I did when I was young is my grandfather had a huge yard out in Strongsville, and I had a little plot of land in Cleveland where I used to grow vegetables. I still have a garden now.
Oh, that's nice. What about the one place I want to travel to is blank?
I'd like to go to Australia.
Australia? Why Australia?
A little bit of everything. They've got coral reefs that you could dive off of. They've got exotic animals, koalas, and exotic birds, which I have one of.
Oh, yes.
My cockatoo. A little bit of everything. I just think it'd be a very nice place to go. The people are very nice, and to me, it'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I would love to. I've never been to Australia. I would love to go sometime. Now, at the other end of the spectrum, when I retire, I blank.
I have never really thought about retiring at this point. You'd say you do more than, I'll give you an example.
Okay.
We were asked at work the one time, if we hit the lottery, the $100 million lottery, they said, would you retire? I said, no, I'd work.
You would?
I would work, but I'd work on my things like I'd work on my tan, I'd work on my cough game. So I would probably, looking at when I retire, I'd probably continue, more than likely I'd work in my garden, I'd work on my house.
Okay.
Hopefully when I retire, I'll have grandchildren. So I'll spoil them and get even with my kids for being brats.
Hey Vince, can you give any neighborly advice to people who are watching right now on here in the city or in Brunswick Hills Township, or people watching on the internet?
I guess the one thing I can say to everybody is just pay attention and be safe.
Okay. Vince Carl, Vice Mayor and Ward 2 Councilman, thanks for coming down to the station.
Thanks, Ron. Thanks for having me.
My name is Ron Falconi. I'm the host of Meet Your Neighbor. I wanted to thank Vice Mayor Vince Carl for coming down to the studios today and chatting with us about the great things that are happening right here in our city. My name is Ron Falconi. I am signing off. Arrivederci.